Good afternoon to you guys. Starting my morning off by walking to 7-Eleven to grab some drinks. My dumbass spent some money I needed for registration for my CRX, so I am out of a car until I can pay my registration. And in 2018, they raised the registration by a certain percentage, so it's a lot more than usual. So until I can pay my registration, I'm going to be walking to wherever it is that I need to go. Unless my brother's not using the van, then I can drive the van. But I'm gonna grab some drinks and then get back to the house and start working on the car. We back in the building. So today, I think what I'm going to do is cosmetically, I'm gonna pull off this jacked up fender right here and replace it with the white one that I bought from the yard a couple weeks ago. And then I'm gonna attempt to pull off the moldings all on this side right here. I'm gonna scuff it up really nice, along with all the other ones that are now, completed to the car. I'm gonna be spraying them all black, wrapping them up maybe, and then storing them away for when the car is finally done painted. It'll be like the icing on the cake. Today's Friday, tomorrow, Saturday, I'm trying to hit the junkyard early in the morning because it is 50% off. And the CRX that I snagged this fender from has like angel eye headlights. My buddy was there this morning. He told me they were plastic, so I might try to go to the yard and get that half off because it's about 18 bucks. So in half, I'll get it for fairly cheap. Then cut a hole in it, then put my V-stack out the headlight. And also I want to go to the junkyard to snag the rear bumper because both the CRX and the yard are 91s. Obviously I don't have that. I'll modify the bumper support for the rear bumper when I have the bumper, so I know how much to cut and what not to cut when that time comes. So enough with the yapping. I'm gonna start tearing off these fucking moldings and hopefully I don't break any clips and start prepping them for paint. So this one right here they're all tricky, but you can like slide them out one way, pull it over, slide it off the other way, and then you can just turn and twist this clip out of the hole, which is almost impossible for this one just because it's squared and this one's rectangular. So for me, because I don't have a panel in the car, this one right here is accessible from the inside. You can see the hole and pretty much just kind of push the clip in, popped it out. I slid this one forward and then this was in there, and all you got to do is turn it and it'll pop right out. So this is probably the first time in all of my years of owning an EF not breaking these clips. But on to the more complicated door molding. Alright, these are not complicated. That one is complicated right there. So yeah. So the door molding came out successfully, unsuccessfully. So I didn't want to record it because it took me quite some time to do this. Take it off as careful as I can. So pretty much you take off the 10 mil right here, right there, and then you just wiggle bottom and up. So what you do is when you wiggle it bottom, it's going to unhook it from here, then you wiggle it upward, it's going to unslide it from the top one. You pretty much do it one at a time all the way across to the front, and the front is tricky because this one is actually molded to the molding itself, so it's unreplaceable. This one had the top clip, but I've tried to pick on it and I've tried to push that little tab in to get them to compress and pull out. So I got the bottom one, you can see the molding where I kind of jabbed on it, and then the top one, I thought I had it until I pulled it out. It snapped it inside the door. I'm not 100% positive if that's accessible from the inside of the door because I know there's like a beam in the middle, I think. But now when this goes back on, I am going to have to get a spare one of this, cut that nice and flat, and then somehow epoxy or adhere this one onto here, so that way I can have this front portion clipped to the door. Otherwise you'll destroy your fender when you open your door because your molding will press in the fender like so. Take your time, do it with ease, handle with care, and hopefully you guys get better success than my dumbass. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the door cap and the skirts off, as well as the fender pieces. So I got this bottom door cap off, fairly simple as well. 110mm bolt that's supposed to go onto the metal strip here, and you wiggle the bottom outward because it's a clip into the bottom of the door right there. You can see it. My impatient ass, I don't know why, the door strip, metal strip, is still on the door because I don't have a pick that's small enough to really get in between the metal to pick on the tab to pop them out. I find it easier to take off the door panel if you really don't want to destroy those black ones, because they're over 25 years old. They're pretty brittle. At the junkyard, that's what I did. The door panel wasn't on there, so easier to just kind of pop them out because they're accessible right there. You can see it. And all you need is a needle nose, pinch it together, and well, I can't do that because these guys over here are still stuck to the door. But ideally, you would pinch them and push them out. See, you can hear it pop. Do that to all of them, and that metal strip should just come right out. I broke one right there because my big ass arm couldn't go inside the freaking door. But right here, this is what I'm talking about. You pretty much just pinch the tabs in like that, push out, and save all your clips. And that's how you take that out, my way. Lucky for your boy, CRX dude. Thank God to your boy, CRX dude on Instagram, for sending me all of this extra clips for my CRX when I put my moldings back on. And I had an extra one right there. Now, this is not missing any clips. So the front fender is fairly simple. You just take off the mud flaps if you got them, or just the bolts. If you have the fender lining still, the bolts hold the fender lining on the fender. Take it off, you have access to the back of the fender. Same thing with the doors, just pretty much pinch these two together. That will come out. The bottom has a 10 mil right here for the kick. Take that out. Most of the time it'll just kind of, somebody took this one apart before, so it's all ripped, so it comes right off. If it's still attached to the metal piece right here with this white clip, then ideally the same as the door cap, back of the fender, pinch these two guys in, and that comes off with the little plastic kick right here. And that's pretty much it. So now, see, this one doesn't even have a damn clip in there. So this bottom skirt right here is fairly simple. In the back right here, it's the same style metal rail thing, and then the rest are just pretty much plastic screw clip type thing, whatever you want to call it. These are very easy to strip out, so either do this by hand, or if you're using a drill, go really slow. Back all of them out, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and I don't know how many are underneath. So once you get those all removed out, skirt comes off. So then once you get that piece off, I pretty much have everything else right here and stacked it right there. I'm gonna give it a real heavy scuff with a red Scotch-Brite, and for the areas that have paint on there already, like this one, I'm gonna scuff it up a little harder, maybe with a 220-300 sandpaper to get it all really nice and smooth. And my goal is to get this all sprayed, several coats, light layers, so you don't go too heavy on it, because if you guys remember when I was spraying the clear coat on the carbon fiber panel, it started to react. So light coats, however many coats it takes to make it nice and semi-black, and you should be good. It is 5 o'clock. Well, I got a text message. Honda Street Garage. I gotta scuff all of this up. This is all the moldings for the doors and the quarters and everything. I pulled off the skirts without messing up too much of these thing right here. Somebody took them off before, that's why there was like some already messed up ones, but I have enough to put them back on. I got to scuff this up really quickly, at least lay down my first or second coat of SEM product. I'm going to be using the trim black SEM product somewhere. I got to find it. Fuck you, bird, and your flock and your flying V, motherfucker. Son of a bitch. I'm out here trying to prep my fucking shit to fucking paint, and these birds shitted all over my fucking shit. Look at that. Bird shit, bird shit. What the fucking... That is the fucking first. Got shitted on. I'm gonna shoot all the smaller piece first, because all the bigger ones are going to take a little bit more time to really clean up. I'm using Advantage cleaner waterborne surface. They've worked for me just fine. Removes all the grease, grimes, dirt, particles, whatever. I've wiped all of these down already, and I just realized I got maybe a quarter of this can left, but this is the product I'm using, SEM product 39143 trim black. I'm gonna at least try to get this done, and hopefully there's enough in here to do the rest of the moldings and stuff. If not, I'll continue this tomorrow when I go to the paint shop to buy another can of that. Unless I can find like the duplicate color ones, I have those too. But I'm gonna go ahead and start doing coats on here before it gets too dark. So I'm holding this about 10 inches away, doing a very, very light coat. Let this dry up, and then hit it with a heavier coat. And on this portion, I'm not worried about underneath. I'm only worried about the sections you see right here. So I'll put more coats here than I am going to be putting on the bottom, just so I can save this. But yeah. It's already looking good. Or maybe it's just too dark. I will invest in a light, guys. I'm gonna try to get like a tripod or something for this, or a gimbal where I can attach an LED to the top of the GoPro so I can get lighting on whatever it is that I'm doing. So you guys are gonna have to sit back and try to enjoy these dark videos until I do. Funds are not all there, so please hang tight. Equipments will come later. Hopefully I'll retire the GoPro for filming my vlogs and my daily adventures, and get something more suitable for the type of filming. But as of right now, I'm just using the GoPro without the case, and it's just sucks in poor lighting. So bear with me, guys. We will get some new equipment soon. So all of this right here has 3 coats on it. It's pretty dried up right now, but I just ran out. I still got to do door skirts, door caps, and yeah, it's just these right here. I got this right here, Duplicolor trim and bumper paint. This is the new one. The old one, I don't know if you guys remember, it used to be green. This is the new one. This one actually is pretty cool too. The color is not like too flat, too glossy. So hopefully when I paint those right there, it'll somewhat match to the SEM product black that's on the moldings. Those are done. I just got to scuff up these right here, and then I can shoot those guys, move those guys off the table, and store them away somewhere where they won't get messed up. So I decided to do a little bit of the duplicate color on here. I gave it a skim coat on top, so that way we can get the same shade if they were different when I put these all on. about to spray these guys right here, give it a good couple of layers, because when it's drying out late like this, condensation builds up, and then it becomes more flatter than the original color that you're painting it. As if, like, say you painted a car and you did clear coat and you let it dry out like this, the clear coat is going to be super flat in the morning or when it's dried. So I got to paint this up, move it underneath the tarp so that way it can dry properly, even though this dries it pretty quickly. But again, I'm just doing light coats to start off, and I'm not going to focus on, you know, the underside where you can't see it when it's on the car. So as soon as I can get the light coat on here to fully cover the old black that's, you know, obviously on the panel, I'm going to focus on getting more layers on the visible side, because that's what people are going to see. I've wiped all of this down 2 times now, so that way I ensured I got all of the dirt, grime, dust particles and stuff off of it. So you can see how I'm just doing a really light layer, and let this dry out before I continue adding more layers to this. On the areas that are like sanded through, that's obviously a lot lighter than the other areas, just put another coat over that so it doesn't take long to build up the paint to match the rest of the painted areas. All right, I'm gonna let this flash in the cold real quick, and then we'll put some more layers on it. So while the second layer is drying, I can already see the condensation build up on it. You can see how it's more flatter on the left side, right side, but in the middle is gloss or semi-gloss. That's because it's cold out where it's drying. But I'm gonna wipe that down, spray it one more time, and then I'm gonna move it inside the garage so that way that doesn't happen. While that's drying, I am going to slap on this fender right here, and I know it's gonna come back off because I'm gonna be painting the fender separately and try to get it obviously on the inside and everything, but having it on the car would stabilize the fender when I am blocking it out. And I'm not going to spend too much on body work, but most of the bigger dents I'm going to spend more time to get it straightened out. The small dings and stuff here and there, I'm not worried about it. I got the fender all bolted up, gaps all kind of lined up. This may be an aftermarket fender. I'm not 100% sure because that does not line up. But then again, that could be Bondo. Anyways, definitely a lot better than the last fender. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna salvage like the clips, these guys, the moldings, all of that stuff. And then I'm gonna trash this fender because it's already trashed itself. The moldings are a lot flatter than I want it to be. Damn duplicate color. But I have no choice. Budget built. Working on a budget here and using whatever I got in the garage. So I just did another layer here. It's not fully dried out yet, but you can see how it's flat and then it's shiny. I wanted that semi-gloss, but whatever. A lot better than what it was before. So that's done. Skirts over there still drying. As soon as the fume goes away, because rule of the thumb is if you still smell the fumes, it's not dried yet. So I don't know if you guys can smell that, but these are all dried. This is still somewhat drying. Probably gonna fire up the heater, stick them on the trash can in front of the heater so it can hurry up and dry up, so I can store it in the garage somewhere, because these are all done. I'm probably gonna do this one in the car. When time comes, I'll refresh this one and the other one. but the molding and stuff, I'm not going to touch any of those. The night's still young. I'm sure there's something else to do. I just got to find them. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the carbon fiber hood is hanging upside down on the ceiling. I didn't want to keep getting it scratched up sitting right there, so I just made a bracket to hang it upside down up there, and it's doing just fine. Got this barb and hole welded up the other night, and I just flapped it down. It's looking really good. Kind of underfilled it right there, but no big deal. Probably going to, you know, lightly put filler over that when I start welding aluminum again. You can see it right there. But yeah, intake's looking good. Not quite sure what color I want to paint this, because the engine bay is going to be gray and the valve cover is going to be blue, because, you know, kind of want to twin with the wagon. The wagon charge pipe is blue as well, so I'm not sure if I want to paint this blue or black or some type of polish. Let me know what you guys think. So I decided to try to repair the driver's side seat using all of the passenger skins and foam from the last video. Right here, this is a lot better condition on the bolster than it is on the driver's side. Obviously, this is the passenger towards the door panel, and this was obviously, you know, abused as much as it was on the driver's side. So I'm not worried about it. Obviously, you can see the inner are clean as hell. That means if I use this one as the inner, it shouldn't wear and tear as much as it is on the outside where you're getting in and out of the car. So I'm going to transfer all of this to that, so that way the driver is not, you know, going over a hunk of metal instead on foam. Look at this giant mess that it made on the back of the car. So yeah, now I'm probably going to do this first and, you know, put it in the garage, and then I'm going to take the driver's side seat cover and start de-stitching the rip portion right here. And like I've mentioned, I have the other portion from the passenger seat to sew on of the, you know, to sew on here, and hopefully that goes well. This fabric is so old that you know, when I sew it and then when you sit on it, you kind of, you know, you hyperextend the material, and it may or may not rip. Who knows? It's pretty brittle, but I'm gonna try my best to make one good seat, and this is going to take some time, especially on the sewing portion of it, but let's make it happen. I need a seat in the car so I can stop sitting on the floor and on this freaking Prelude seat. It's got to go. So I just got the foam swapped out. You can see the driver's side handle right there, and the bolster is looking really clean. But here's the inside, because this is the outside of the passenger, and I'm contemplating between like trying to modify or cut this one out and somehow adhere this foam to the current pad that's on here now, and have a good inside as well, because this, you can really feel the metal there. And I know that once the seat cover goes on, it's going to really hold it in place, but what is going to make this foam hold together right now? Back then, when I did this before on another seat, I used like Great Stuff expanding foam, and I was able to shape it out, whatever. But once it was in the car, you can feel how firm it is where this is at. And I don't have any Great Stuff on hand right now, so I got to figure something out or run it like this. But I'm gonna brainstorm a little bit more before I start tearing into that sleeve right there and take off the messed up, rip up portion, and try to line up the other one and sew it together. All right, guys, so it's about 8:30 right now. I can't feel my fingers. It's not as cold as Hunter Tunes garage, but it's cold enough for me because I'm a Californian. But I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. So I got the ripped up sleeve removed from, you know, the fabric that I'm keeping. So in the trash you go. The seat, I patched it up with another foam, like a foam patch, and that's good. So here is the other portion that I am going to be stitching on to the best of my abilities. I'm gonna have to continue this tomorrow just because my dad is sleeping and all the sewing equipment is in his box in his room, and I don't want to tippy-toe my fat ass in there. So I'm gonna sew this up tomorrow. It's nice that you can see the clean fabric versus the old, so I know where this is gonna go on here. But it's a good thing that I'm continuing this video tomorrow because I want you guys to get caught up. Everything that you guys seen this week was recorded a week before, and I skipped 2 days of doing stuff on the car this week, so that way I don't have too much content and be too far ahead of you guys viewing my videos. So today is Friday. I'm gonna continue this tomorrow. You guys should be like a day or two behind, but I'm gonna clean up. I haven't eaten all day other than the 7-Eleven trip this morning. Got some taquitos. So I'm gonna go grab something to eat, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
The next day.
So when I decided to sew it up by hand, my dad was like, oh, let me run it through the sewing machine. And he pretty much sewed all of the seam of the new outer fabric. So now we have a driver's side seat in good condition. Other than that, I cleaned it by hand with some fabric cleaner and all that, so it's sitting in front of the heater to dry up, and it's fairly dry. The fabric doesn't look all brownish like the back side. I only did the front because that's where I'm going to be sitting. But that's going to be it for this video. We have a driver's side seat, guys. I can now sit in the car without sitting too tall and hitting the sunroof. Oh wait, what sunroof? But that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, comment, and subscribe. So be sure to stick around for some more updates because we are going to be doing a lot this week. Hopefully you guys are somewhat caught up. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.